Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for this week. It is for the next 7 days, my friends. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome to the Wednesday. I think I'm going to get this uploaded by Wednesday. Hopefully I do. But whenever you get it, today, tomorrow, next year, it is going to be for the next 7 days, my friends. I've got 12 decks to my left. And if you've never been here before, I do this reading once a week. It usually is a Monday or a Tuesday, but lately it's been getting later and later as I'm trying to get outside and be in the what's left of the beautiful weather for the summer. So this is coming out a little later this week, but nonetheless, I'm here to read from each of these decks for each of the Zodiac signs. I've marked everything down below in the description, so you can just scroll and find whatever it is that you need for the energies that you're looking for. I'm just going to ask you to please just stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. And the sun sign is good. Look, it's great. But if you don't know what's in your moon and your rising, none of this stuff is going to make sense. You really don't know what's going on, as you're only going to view it through the eye of your personality or how you view the world. The moon and the rising sign are going to give you the clarity about who you really are in those energies. So the only other thing that I want to tell you is that there are private reads going down. And if you're interested in that, we're having fun doing those live reads. I am offering live reads over the phone or via video. Please look at my schedule to see when I'm available. Please look at the pinned comment under this video and any video that I upload. You'll see the information there. Click on Hipsy. You can check out my prices for pre-recorded answers as well, pre-recorded private reads, but also I am doing them live over the phone. And when we do them live, and only when we do them live, you can give me as many questions as I can answer in the time frame that you pick. So you will get a discount between 5 and 75%. Merely just for booking your appointment ahead of time. So go look at my schedule for now. It's a little bit limited for next week, but after that, I'm going to open it up and you guys will be able to contact me when you want. So book ahead, you'll get a discount, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you. I was able to speak with Amy last night and we had a great time because she's a Sagittarius and I'm a Sag rising. So we had a great time chatting with each other. I think that's all I have to tell you. So let's figure it out. Let's get going. Let's find out what's going on with you, Aries. Under this energy of the full moon that is almost upon us, right? The 7th is the full moon in Pisces. Now, there's a lot going on, and I'm not even going to get into that because I'm not your astrologer, but I'm just telling you that if you are a Pisces, a Virgo, a Gemini, or a Sagittarius, there's a lot going down for you, for sure, or Taurus, I would say. So, yeah, go take a look and find out if you have any of those placements, where they are in your chart, and how all of these movements are going to affect you, because we do have on the 7th, we have a full moon in Pisces, but it is an eclipse energy as well. So expect the unexpected, friends. All right, Aries, we're you first, my fire family. I have all kinds of Aries all over my chart. I'm telling you, I might as well be an Aries because thank God for this Taurus energy that grounds me from all my fire energy. Let's find out what's going on for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about the fire family, please, for the next 7 days for Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries, we've got the Ace of Cups. Why is that? Tell me why the Ace of Cups is here. Oh, we took out 2. We've got the Star. We've got the 3 of Wands, Aries. There's something in the distance that I think you already see or feel. And the 6 of Wands is here. I think that you know that something is on the horizon that is of a good nature, I'm going to say. And that is something you can be excited for. Now, we pulled the Ace of Cups first. So it tells me for some of you, it could be about the heart space, about something that makes you emotionally happy. It could be about a new beginning in emotions, something, a new beginning in a new cycle that makes you emotionally happy. We have the Star here, and it feels like that this is a very healing, emotionally healing time for you. I would say what's coming in the future is about to give you victory or success. So if you can think about something that I feel you've been excited for or you've been waiting for, I feel like it's just off in the distance here. We have 6 and 3, which is 9. I feel like you are a little bit scared, worried, or possibly feeling like, oh God, I'm in the tunnel. Is that a train? I feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, my friend, and I don't think it's a train. I feel like it's something that's really exciting. The 6 of Wands is coming from that hard place, coming from the fight, coming from the war. And so I feel like there is something great that's in the future here for you that's going to make you very heart happy. It could be that this is what's showing up after some type of healing process you've been through. And the healing might be of the Nine of Wands nature. The Nine of Wands is, I'm burnt out. I don't have anything left to give. And it almost feels like just when you feel like nothing is going to happen or show up or transpire here, I think you're wrong, because the Ace of Cups is here. Tell me about the Ace of Cups for Aries, please. There you are. We ask for Aries, and Aries is on the table. We've got the Emperor, we've got the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So Aries, it feels like you are planning in the background, I want to say, because I feel that somebody here has intuitive or psychic energy. It feels like that is on high for you right now. And the Emperor energy is stability and security, but it's also, keeping the brave face, keeping the face, the forward facing you could be an Aries rising. The forward facing you is showing everybody, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm solid. I'm solid and sturdy here. Don't worry about me. It feels like with the Two of Wands, though, that you're about to take action on something that possibly is frightening you just a little bit. And I don't think you're scared, understand, but I feel like it's the exhilaration of it, because you're at the end of a cycle here with the Six and the Three of Wands. You're at the end of a cycle feeling burnt out, and it feels like it at the last minute when you think that, you know what, I'm just done with this. I'm done with this whole process. I'm done with this whole thing. That's when this shows up. We've got the Two of Cups. Now, I feel like it's something that is possibly going to look like a reunion or a reconciliation with someone, something, or a situation. The Two of Wands tells me that you've been planning behind the scenes, or planning maybe even in the mind. You could be seeing it in the mind's eye and thinking this is going to be something that is going to happen in the future. If you are a person who's like dreaming about it, because we do have water energy here, which is kind of dreamy along with the star. I'm looking at this sort of dreamy energy. It's like you're dreaming about it, or you are daydreaming about it, of this reconciliation or this reunion. It could be with friends, family. It could be with somebody that you have some type of an emotional bond with. And it doesn't have to be love all the time when the Two of Cups comes up. It really just is someone that you have shared equal amounts of emotion with. Tell me more. We've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Four of Swords. You're trying to stable your emotions at this time, because it almost feels as though you're walking this very fine line of, it's like a tightrope, and on one side, if you fall one way, it's like I'm giving up. But if you fall the other way, everything goes amazing. So it's like you're trying to stay on this tightrope, trying to keep your balance, waiting to see what the universe is going to give you. And I feel like the Five of Cups is on deck, like it's waiting on deck. It's like it could go this way or that way. It could go Four of Swords, stability of the mind, or it could go Five of Cups, which is the sadness and regret here. We've got the Strength card in the reverse. So I think at this time you are trying to collect yourself. It's almost like you're bracing for impact here, that you see something coming at you quickly in the distance and you are bracing for impact. And so I feel like the Four of Swords is you healing, being by yourself, giving yourself time away from people, time away from just time away. I feel like you're just sort of keeping to yourself. The Five of Cups is the worry that I think that you are going back and forth with, because you don't feel yet strong enough to handle whatever is going to show up here. Because strength in the reverse to me is not weakness. Strength to me in the reverse is the inner strength. It's the momentum that you're building to find the courage to hold back and not jump forward prematurely here. And I feel like you're waiting for the universe to bring you whatever you feel or see in the distance. We've got 5 and 3 cups here, which is 8. And so it feels like you're sort of trying to live in detachment mode here. You're trying to stay solid and secure on your throne. I've got everything under control. Nothing to see here. You can just move along. But it feels like underneath, there is a lot of emotions or waves that are crashing against the shore. We have the Queen of Pentacles, but you're showing everybody you're solid, grounded. I'm good. Look, I'm taking care of my health, my money, my wealth, my yard, my house, my my car, look, I'm doing really well. If you look at me in terms of material wealth, I'm doing great. I'm solid and I'm grounded. But I feel like there is something coming in the distance here, friend, that you have been waiting on for a long time, and you're trying not to get excited about it. In fact, I feel like it's almost the opposite. You're like, I want to be excited, but I don't want to be too excited so as to let myself down. Tell me what the outcome is. Tell me what this thing is, if you can. We've got the King of Wands. Well, you've got your wand at the ready here, my friend. You're ready to take off and go grab whatever it is that you want. The Eight of Cups, we already talked about here, right? 5, 6, 7, and 8. We've got the 8 Cups. I feel like your motor is running. You're sitting on the motorcycle and revving the engine, and you're almost ready to go. That's what it feels like. But the Eight of Cups is here, and you're trying to deal with all of this in a very detached way. You don't want people to think that you've been looking forward to anything, because you don't want to have to show disappointment if it doesn't work out. You've got the Chariot. There it is. There's your... You know, it's like the King of Wands and the Eight of Cups is like this energy of holding back, being detached. But then the Chariot is like, I can't hold back any longer. So Aries, I got to surmise that there is something here that you can no longer hold back from. It feels like you've been trying to battle it emotionally. It feels like you do want to have a reunion with someone or a situation you want to revisit. It feels like you're trying to remain solid and grounded. But the fact of the matter is that the Six of Wands is here, and you want to cross the finish line. You want to go home and have this beautiful homecoming, the excitement, and we finally made it past the biggest blockade. That's what it feels like. We finally made it past the biggest blockade, or made it to the top of the mountain. It's like the summit of something. Tell me what's around the corner for Aries. We've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Nine of Swords. All right. And we've got the High Priestess. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. Look, I feel like you have a fear, Aries. And the fear is with the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Swords. But what if when I get there, Elsie, what if when I get there, that person doesn't want to talk to me? They don't want to have anything to do with me. They never did. They forgot about me, and I thought that maybe they would never forget about me. What if the situation no longer requires my attention? What if people are like, what the hell are you doing here? Like you're 10 years too late. Like it feels like you want to do something. The High Priestess is here. And I think that with the High Priestess, you've been silent with someone or quiet about the situation. It's like something you've been preparing for under the surface or behind the scenes. And it feels like the reason you're doing it is because you're not quite there with your energy of bravery. It feels like you're holding back, or you're trying to build momentum to have the courage to be able to move forward. We've got the Ten of Cups. Look, it works out the way you want it. It works out in the utmost happiness, it feels like. One last card, and then we will get to the next place here. Ten of Wands, you got to drop the burdens first, friend. I feel like this High Priestess has something to do with the Ten of Wands. It feels like the Nine of Swords and the High Priestess are giving me the energy that you're worried that whatever your intuition is, it's lying to you. And I think that you want to move forward, have the reunion, fix the situation, whatever it is that is the scenario for you. But it feels like you're in the Seven of Wands energy of, but what if? What if I get there and the boundaries are up? What if I get there and they don't answer the door? What if I text and I never get an answer back? And so I feel like you need to drop those, burn it to the ground, my friend. If you really want what you want and you want to go get it, then you should. But that means that you're going to have to take all of these heavy things that you've been carrying with you. You're going to have to drop them and listen to your intuition. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. If it is a person that you're wondering about in terms of some sort of deep connection, deep love connection, that person is single. Five of Swords is here. This is you fighting yourself. I feel like you are your own worst enemy at this moment, Aries. And it does feel like I am talking from a masculine point of view. It feels like somebody wants to pursue someone or something, a situation, a job, whatever it is. It feels like masculine energy, but it could be a woman in her masculine energy. It doesn't always have to be men. But yeah, it feels like there is something coming here that you're going to go get. And I think that once you finally realize your intuition's not lying to you, that there's nothing to worry about, that, you know, no is just a word. It's just a word, and you tried. And you might go through the rest of your life, woulda, shoulda, coulda, I should have done that, Elsie. And this is your chance to try, even if it doesn't work. We've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We've got Sagittarius energy. We've got Pisces, and we've got Leo. There's that Leo energy. We've got more Sagittarius energy, Cancer. Cancer, Pisces. We've got Aquarius. We've got Aries energy, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And we've got some Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy at the bottom of the deck. All right, all of that, huh? Let's find out what's going on for you. Taurus, my bull gang. How are you, friends? Let's find out what's going on for you this week. My Earth family, let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It's kind of chilly here today. Did you notice I got long sleeves today? It's a little bit chilly here today, and I am not sad about it at all. For those of you who live in hot climates year-round, you probably think I'm out of my mind, but I am good and ready for the trees to lose their leaves, teach us about release. And I'm an Earth sign, so I love the fall. Let's find out what's going on with you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. For the next 7 days, this is your sneak peek for the week. We've got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, when I dropped that Page of Pentacles in the reverse, I heard no more. So somebody here is not putting any more effort into something, is what it looks like with Four of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like you have been giving your time, attention, your attention, your energy, your efforts to something. And I feel like you are making a decision in the next 7 days to say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not giving any more of my time and attention to this thing. I'm just going to hold back for this time being, because I am not getting any return on my investment. We've got the Emperor here. And when I said return on investment, understand that the Emperor is the person who is the business owner, the one who runs the empire, which could be all the kingdoms, right? You could have businesses, or maybe you've got multiple streams of income, but this also, the Emperor is the one who is in charge of all of it. I feel like you're taking charge of a situation where you've realized that you were giving too much time, effort, energy, or money to something that you weren't getting anything back for. Now look, we're not keeping score, but when it comes down to it, and you know that you have someone in your life who's taking and not giving anything, then I think that you are about to rethink the whole situation. We've got a couple of fours here, right? You need stability. You need things to be even, I feel. And you are, at this point, realizing that I've got to pull back my energy. Five Pentacles. I got to pull back my energy way back is what it looks like. And we've got the Three of Cups. The thing is that it feels like this is going to make you feel good. It feels like celebratory or joyful energy that you've decided to take control of this situation. Because I feel like you were being breadcrumbed, nickeled and dimed. It feels like whatever it was is you were giving more than the other person was giving. And I think that you've decided to just pull back your energy here. The Three of Cups tells me that maybe somebody here has a social event coming up in the next 7 days. And it feels like you are walking into that group visit or that group situation like the boss. Like you're walking in and shifting the energy in the room, and you know, it could be that maybe there is somebody that's going to be there that you've been pursuing, or somebody that you've been giving your energy to and they've not been giving it back. I feel like the energy of the Emperor is, I'm pulling back, man. I'm not giving you nothing. Now you can approach me, or we're not even going to have a conversation at the social event. I feel like this is all going to make you very happy. I feel like it's celebratory energy, or you are going into some type of celebration in your Emperor energy, which is, look, I'm in control. I'm in control of all of this. Tell me what happens when you decide to pull back your energy, Taurus, and not give any more energy to the situation. Somebody gets very confused. They're like, why isn't Taurus coming over and saying hi? Why isn't Taurus pursuing me across the dance floor and saying, hey? They're wondering why, Taurus, that you in the past, I feel the Six of Cups is here, that you in the past would be the one that would say, hey, nice to see you here. And I feel like you come in, you take your seat, and you start to survey the room, wonder if you even want to see any of those people. And so the Six of Cups is telling me that in the past you would have fallen all over yourself to communicate with certain people or be in a certain situation, and you're just not doing that. You're not doing that right now. Nope, you're not. Hang on. I'll get a little bigger one here. YouTube doesn't freak out. Okay, so we've got the Star here. You know what it is? It's your healing. It's your healing and your balance and your stability. It feels like your emotions are now in balance with your earth energy, and you have decided to stay in balance. No matter what goes on here, when I walk into the social situation, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to pull back my energy. And if somebody wants to talk to me, if that person wants to talk to me, they can come talk to me if they want. And I'm going to be very kind and cordial and happy. And can I buy you a drink? But if that person doesn't come over and pay attention to you, Taurus, I think you're like, no, bro, no, thank you. So the star is here, and I feel like you have healed your past, Taurus. That's what it's telling me. You've healed the way you were in the past. And the way you were in the past is, I don't think you were chasing, understand, but I really feel like you were always over giving. Giving. And with the Five of Pentacles here, you're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Tell me what else is going on for Taurus. We've got the Queen of Wands. There we go. There she is. So whether you're the feminine or the masculine, I feel like the Queen of Wands is your energy. I'm independent. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to grow regardless of whether you put your eyes on me or not. I don't really care if you come over and say hello. I'm going to grow. I'm going to keep moving. I'm independent. I'm here of my own volition. And if you don't want to come say hi, that's cool, because look, I'm sitting in a group full of people who really love my fiery, funny, externally excited energy. They like that energy. The fire energies, right? We've got the Fool. This is the first time that you're entering into this situation or this social group or this social situation since stepping into your Emperor energy and taking back what is yours here. I feel like the Fool energy tells me that this is something that's sort of exciting for you, because now you're walking into a situation or a room full of people where you don't really care if anybody says hello. You're like, do I even want to be here with these people? It's sort of the confidence of the Queen of Wands, being independent and being like, yeah, I might stay for an hour. And if somebody comes over to say hi, then that's cool. I'll say hi. But, you're the one that's in control of the situation. We've got the Six of Pentacles. See, there you are. Look, you're Taurus. You're cordial. You're going to invite somebody over to sit down. Can I buy you a drink? How you doing? But that person is going to have to give to you instead of you giving to them first, because you're not getting yourself into a situation where you're being breadcrumbed again. That's not what you're there for. You're there to tip really well. You're there to tip your waiter really well, or the person who brings you drink. You're there to give your energy, times, and effort to people who are giving it to you. And I feel like this is the new you. I want to say with the Fool here, this is a new chapter for you. Look, something is going on in the energies of the eclipse, which is coming up tomorrow. Not tomorrow. It's coming up on Sunday as I read this, if you're here real time. And I feel like there is something that's going down in the next 7 days here, and you're going to get a chance to show everybody the Emperor side of you, which is, you know what? I'm here because you asked me to be here, and I'm going to enjoy being here and saying hello, but then I'm probably going to do the... So we call it the Irish goodbye. If you don't know what that is, it's you just leave without saying goodbye. You're just like, thanks, but I'm out. We've got the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're going to get some clarity. You're going to finally see who is with you, who's against you, who's on the bus, and who's under it, Taurus. I feel like the Ace of Swords is here because truth is being spoken, but in a very grounded way and in a very silent way, I believe. I feel like you are not saying it, but I feel like your energy of the Emperor as you step into this social gathering or this social place, I feel like you're emitting this energy of being very happy, very joyful, but you're also in this energy of come at me, bro. Like, if you want to come sit down with me and let's talk, that's cool. But you know what? I am not going to chase you for your energy. But I am sure going to give you reciprocal energy if you decide to come up to me. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Eight of Cups, very detached. Taurus, very detached. Look, if you're not going to sit down and talk with me, then I'm on to the next guy. I'm not gonna lament about it. I'm not gonna be sad about it. We've got the Seven of Wands because your boundaries are up, right? And I don't think you're defensive. It doesn't feel like defensive energy with the Eight of Cups. It feels like detached, behind my boundaries, ready for anything. You want to come at me, bro? You go ahead, come at me. You can sit on the other side of the boundary and I'll have a good conversation with you and help me decide whether I'm going to let you pass the boundary or not. You're the one in charge. That's very bossed up energy. We've got the Chariot. Yeah, it feels like you're going to let people in as far as keeping them on the other side of the boundary, Taurus. And then you're going to decide whether you're going to open the gate and allow them entrance into your world. The Chariot is here, and I feel like it's because you have discipline. You've got the discipline of these boundaries here and the detachment down pat. And it feels like this is the energy that you're going into this situation with. This could be a cookout. This could be somebody's home. This could be a social thing that you've been invited to. But it feels like with the Chariot energy, you've got the balance, you've got the discipline, and you've balanced your feminine and masculine energies, right? We've got feminine leaning, masculine leaning. You've balanced your feminine and masculine energies, and you've bossed up. Tell me what's around the corner for Taurus, please. The Empress energy. There is somebody in the environment. Now, whether you are the Emperor or the Empress, take your side, whether you're feminine leaning, masculine leaning, but there is somebody in your environment who matches your energy. I'm going to say somebody's going to match your energy, and they're going to be somebody who you're going to be drawn to. If you're the Emperor, you're going to be drawn to this personality, this energy, this person in the room. You're going to be drawn to them because they're going to see you. They're going to look at you. They're going to look at you a type of way or send out some energy to you that's going to make you draw in closer. This person is not going to approach you, but I feel like they're going to leave their energy field open enough that you might want to approach them. There is somebody here that understands you because they're on the same level as you vibrationally here. They get it. Yes, they sure do get it. This person, you're not going to be able to ignore them, Taurus. It feels like if you are the Empress, Taurus and Libra, if you are the Empress, there's a light hanging over your head that the Emperor is not going to be able to ignore. And if you are the Emperor, I feel like you are seeing somebody, possibly someone you know, but maybe you're seeing them for the first time in the Empress energy. But it feels like the Sun is here. There is a breakthrough, but everything is happy in a growth situation. It feels like you're seeing the growth of somebody here, or noticing their growth. We've got the Knight of Wands, and there you go, making a beeline. So the Emperor, I feel, makes a beeline for the Empress, because that might be the only other person in the room who gets you, who knows that they are sitting on their throne, sitting in their stability and wisdom and all of that. And I feel like that person is probably, this Emperor is going to make a beeline for the Empress. This might be the only person in the room that you might approach, because you understand their aura, you understand their energy, because it's just like yours. We have the Seven of Cups here, and we've got the Strength at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there is I want to say that by getting into the Knight of Wands energy, and making a brave approach, it feels like you then cut out a lot of the noise, or the noise, like not audio noise, but it feels like, when you get too much noise in a picture, it's like all snowy. It's like you're cutting through all of that when this Sun comes out and you see this person for who they are. They might be the only other person in the room who vibrates at the same level as you, and you can tell right away. It literally is that. You can tell right away. It feels like at first you hold yourself back, but then you realize that you really do want to give this person some attention, and I feel like it goes here. I feel like it's very slow, methodical, moving over, or somebody is approaching you. If you are the Empress, somebody might be approaching you. It feels like you're going to get a lot of attention at this social gathering, whether you're the Emperor or the Empress, but it does feel like there is somebody at this gathering that I feel is going to get you. And I think that was your biggest worry going in, is that somebody here is not going to get you, and that you're going to be there sitting by yourself on your own independently. We do have the Seven of Cups, Ace. We have Sagittarius. We have Leo. We have Taurus and Libra. We have Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Cancer, more Aries. We have more Cancer and Cancer energy. We've got Aries energy. We've got the Star, which is Aquarius. We've got Scorpio energy. And lots of Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Very interesting reading, Taurus. All right, Gemini. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini for the next 7 days, please. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini, we've got the Devil. Why are we starting out there? Tell me about the Devil energy. We've got the Ten of Swords. I feel like you are releasing some sort of fear or worry or doubt, possibly a codependent relationship with somebody who I feel is attached to you in an emotional way. So it feels like with the King and the Queen of Cups here, these two people are mirroring each other. I feel like, Gemini, that you are going through either some sort of breakup, or you have stopped speaking to somebody that you maybe were attached at the hip with. These could be best friends. It could be mom and dad. Take it as it resonates for you. But the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups are very connected energetically and emotionally. And with this Ten of Swords here, it does feel like that there has been some type of heartbreak or pain, like a cycle has ended between the King and the Queen of Cups. So you might have a water placement, or the person you're dealing with might, but it feels like you two are mirroring each other in a sort of a psychic way, I would say. The Devil energy is here, and it feels like this may have been like, maybe you came to the realization that you had to end it even though it was painful, because maybe it was a toxic connection here. Let's find out what's going on with the Devil. Tell me about the Devil. It feels like it was something that was going, it's like we broke up, got back together. We broke up, we got back together. It was going round and round and round, and it's like I couldn't get off the merry-go-round. Tell me what's going on with the Devil, please. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Seven of Cups, and we've got the Two of Wands. Look, you needed a plan because things became unclear. It feels like they became unclear, but you became very comfortable in the place where you were. Now, this is why I talk to you guys sometimes about this whole hierarchy of things that you have in your head about the karmic, the soulmate, and the twin flame. You've got it in your head as some sort of hierarchy. You think that you're a more spiritual person if you have a twin flame, and none of it's true. Okay, whether you have a karmic, a soulmate, or a twin flame does not tell me where you are spiritually or what you think you have in terms of a mate. Now, these two people mirror each other, and I'm going to say that these two people at one time, or maybe even now, are connected emotionally. And that could be that we are friends that way, that we are soulmate friends. It could be a member of the family as well. But it looks as though somebody here got into, I would say, a very complacent or codependent energy with this person, where we're almost acting as one. So whether it's a best friend or somebody who you're in a relationship with, that you no longer were thinking for yourself, you no longer were making decisions for yourself. One person was making decisions for both people, and that's why it feels like it got sort of codependent or a little bit toxic here. It feels like you became comfortable in a situation where our energies blended so well that I wasn't even making decisions anymore. It's like I couldn't find the way to make a decision to get out of this place where I felt stuck. And I feel like you felt stuck there because of the Devil energy that is next to the Two of Wands and the Four of Cups. It feels like it was all very confusing. If you can see the way the Four of Cups, person on the Four of Cups is looking at this Seven going, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. Like, why do I feel so comfortable here but feel like my autonomy is gone? Like, it feels like you could no longer... You were no longer able to think for yourself, do things for yourself. And I'm not saying it's because you couldn't. I feel like you felt like the person you were with was not interested in you having autonomy. They wanted you two to blend your energies so well that that you sort of followed them, I would say. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the World card. So it really does feel here like somebody is coming to a realization that I was losing myself in the situation. I was losing myself in the relationship or in the situation. The Eight of Pentacles is here. And as we look from a distance, we can see that there are 5. But as we look closer, we see there's a plan for 3 more. So it feels like somebody here was feeling in lack. But it feels like we were caught in this loop of going, like obsessively going round and round and round with each other. It feels like this became hurtful. It felt like this person no longer allowed you to think for yourself, or that they were someone who felt that if you were to not do what they said, then you didn't love them, or didn't do what they said, so you weren't part of the family. It feels like with the Eight of Pentacles here that you decided that it was time for you to build your own stability and work on yourself. And I think that's what sort of brought this moment of break here, like I need a break, or this has got to come to an end. It feels like the King of Cups, the masculine leaning energy, is the one who decided, I need autonomy. I need to be able to think for myself, do things for myself, and not take orders from anyone around me. We've got the High Priestess energy. Your intuition was nagging you. I feel like you were silent about the plans you were making, or silent about how you were working on yourself or on your intuition, or maybe you were working a little more on meditation. It feels like either way that you build a foundation that connects you back to the self, and it feels like you realize that something here is over, that this chapter is over, and I should have been honest with myself sooner. The future energy is this King of Swords energy, which is, you know, I've got to make the best decision for everyone involved because this situation has become toxic. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here, so it could be a job that I'm talking about, that maybe you no longer had autonomy, that this employer had control of your every move. And it does feel, if I'm talking to the feminine, it feels like this person wanted you to abandon your family or abandon your home life in order to serve them. And if you're the masculine, it feels like it might have been a feminine who was doing this, that this person just wanted you to abandon who you are and what you are in order to serve them. So whatever way you're taking that, it feels like it was a very toxic and codependent relationship that you got very comfortable in until you realized you had to make a better plan. So I feel like your plan is, I got to close this chapter. I can't do this anymore. My intuition is telling me that I do have autonomy, that I'm actually not a queen or a king. I'm actually the empress, feminine or masculine. I'm a person who actually is more educated. I have more time, more energy, more money, more effort. I've been the person who is, it's almost like, if this is a workplace thing, my friend, it feels like it's somebody who said, no, we're not giving you the promotion, we're not giving you the raise. And then they pull someone in off the street and say, okay, can you train that person to do the thing that we want them to do? That's what it feels like. So it feels like almost like a betrayal, because the Ten of Swords is here. It feels like some type of betrayal. So we do have the Empress here. And so I feel like with this Empress energy that you are the abundant and stable one. You have the wisdom, and you're like, you know what? I've got to break away from this. I have to break away from whatever this codependent, toxic situation is. And I think you do it by working on yourself and raising your vibration to this Empress energy level here. Tell me what the outcome is, please, for Gemini. We've got the Nine of Swords, we've got the Three of Cups, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles. I think you're worried about the money. You're worried about your status. You're worried about your tenure. It feels like you're worried about your place in life or in this person's life if you decide to say no to them. And so it feels like a betrayal is coming, because when you do finally tell this person, no, I have autonomy, I have everything that I need and the wisdom that I need to do it, this person is going to betray you by either firing you, letting you go, saying that you weren't a person who was very cooperative, or releasing you from the relationship. We've got the Ten of Pentacles here. We could be talking about your health, your job, your money, your car, your house, or we could be talking about a long-term relationship somewhere. Maybe you've rented or leased from someone for a really long time. And when you decide to step out of formation, that's when this person comes along and says, no, we're not doing that. I think your worry is the Three of Cups, that you're no longer going to be happy. You're no longer going to be celebrating the money that you're making, the stability that you have. It feels like when you decide to break away, make your own decision, you know that that's going to break formation, and that this person, situation, or job is probably going to let you go. But I think you're readying yourself by working on yourself and bringing yourself to this Empress level vibration, so you can just walk out happily. Your happy little ass and your High Priestess energy, walk out in silence and just say, nope, this is not what I'm doing anymore. And I think that the Page of Pentacles speaks to that. Page of Pentacles is, look, you guys get a little bit of my energy. You told me that I wasn't good enough for you to promote me or give me the raise, but now you're trying to get me to train someone off the street. I don't think so. I'm the one that's put in all the hard work, and whatever's coming in the future for me, I'm going to build that myself, because I'm not going to sit around and watch somebody else take the money, time, and energy that was supposed to be given to me. We've got the Eight of Swords here. I feel like it's going to take a little bit for you to come up with the words to say, I'm out of here. But you've already started building the foundation, which is interesting, because when we looked at this, right, we saw that the Five Pentacles had been built, and it feels still like a little bit of lack, but then we have plans for the Three, and then the Three of Pentacles shows up. So I feel like you're busy building some sort of foundation here. And it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's going to give you balance. And I feel like once you finally come out of the Five of Wands in the reverse, once you finally decide there's no more holding back, and you say it finally, that's when the World card shows up here. It's an accomplishment, though. It's a milestone. And I think that you're going to be far more successful as the Empress energy, feminine or masculine, than you were working in with this counterpart, whether it's a relationship, a job, or whatever it is. So we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We have Libra and Taurus. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. More Taurus energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Capricorn on the bottom of the deck. Very interesting. All right, Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about my watery friends. Tell me about Cancer in the next 7 days. Sneak peek for this week for Cancer. The next 7 days. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, we start out with the Two of Cups. What's going on with you here? There is some sort of a connection or a bond we're looking at here right off the bat with the Queen of Wands, possibly. Someone who may be a fire sign, so maybe Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. This is an energy of justice. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Cancer, I feel like you're in this energy of, I do want to invest in the Queen of Wands. It feels like you're about to make a really big and bold move towards somebody here. In fire energy, it feels like you're very attracted to them because they're in this attractive energy. You definitely could have a fire energy placement that is in the moon or the rising. I do feel, though, that this Queen of Wands tells me that this is someone separate from you or outside of you that you have an emotional bond with, but you also are attracted to this person. So this doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be a friend, somebody that you've exchanged emotional energies with. This could be somebody that you are, that you see every day. You have a bond in the pentacle world with them, Ace of Pentacles. You've already invested in a friendship, invested in a job, invested in, you could work with them, or possibly they could be your business partner. But justice is here. Something's about to be restored or come into balance. And I think it's this Two of Cups here and this Queen of Wands. So I feel like there is some sort of justice that you're going to get for making all sorts of, maybe not all sorts of, but maybe you're ready to make some sort of an investment in the Queen of Wands. Tell me about what this, what is this connection about, please? Tell me about the Two of Cups. We've got the Emperor. We've got the Six of Swords. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So it feels like you've been moving in on someone really slowly here, Cancer, whether you're the feminine or the masculine. It feels like Cancer, that this Knight of Pentacles is telling me that things have been moving really slow and we've been building a bond really slowly. Things are in transition here, and I think the transitional thing is we're taking this slowly because we're taking it in a very Pentacle Swords energy, which is moving slowly into calmer waters, and we're going to just reassess the situation when we get there. It feels like you take a few steps in and then you reassess. Is this a good bond? And then you take a few more steps and you reassess. Am I getting closer? Cancer, you're very careful. Very careful. And that's sort of a Cancer trait that you're being very careful with somebody here. Maybe they're not exactly realizing that your intention is possibly with emotions or to transform the situation so it's more balanced in terms of how we exchange energies, exchange this bonded energy. The Emperor energy, I feel, could be yours. I know that you're Cancer, but you know, the King of Cups is also in the Emperor energy, and we are in a general reading, so that would be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer energy. But the Emperor is Aries, and I feel like this is telling me that I might be reading for somebody who's in their masculine energy. So whether you're a man or a woman, that you're in your masculine energy, which means you're ready to pursue somebody here. And make no mistake, the Emperor is the masculine leaning energy, and masculine leaning energies are the ones that usually pursue. So if you're a woman that doesn't care to be in your masculine energy, you might not want to pursue. We have the Page of Wands here. There definitely is some sort of an excitement in the pursuit. We've got 3 Pentacles, and we've got the King of Pentacles. So we have been building a foundation here for a bit. It feels like this is going really slow. We've known each other for a while. We're building a slow foundation, and it feels like this week might be the week where you actually make some sort of an advance. What I mean by that is, hey, we should do something outside of work, or we should do something outside of the business. It feels like that you're about to approach somebody and say, hey, do you want to go for a drive? Do you want to go get a coffee? It feels like that this King of Pentacles energy tells me that you want to supply something in the material world for this person whilst building a slow foundation. The 3 of Pentacles is here. So you might want to buy them dinner or take them out someplace to a movie. Like it feels like you want to care for them or show them sort of monetary care, I guess, whether you're the feminine or the masculine. But the Page of Wands tells me that I think that you are going to go outside of maybe the regular 9 to 5 or the regular friendship or the regular whatever it is that you have created with this person. It feels like there's a steady regular time that you see them, or a regular thing that you do together, and it feels like you're gonna, with the Page of Wands, gonna go out of bounds is what it feels like. I'm gonna go out of bounds and do something I never would have done before. 5 of Pentacles is here, but it feels though you have this this energy with you that I could be turned down. And the truth is you could be, but we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 Pentacles. I feel like this is going to be the best move for you at this time. If you are looking at building something slow with the potential of long-term advancement, it feels like you do have to find the courage to be rejected. And I'm not saying you're going to be rejected. I'm saying you need to find the courage to be rejected. And that's the way it is in relationships. When you're the pursuer, I feel like you have to find the courage to be rejected. But look, the thing about this that feels different for me, Cancer, for you, is that you've already built a really solid foundation here, because we have Pentacles, 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 Pentacles. You've built a solid foundation. You've been going slow. You haven't been crowding this person. It feels like there are 10 Pentacles here for a reason. It feels like we've been reassessing the situation along the way. What is the outcome? Because I just want to know how this person feels about you, because I think I know how you feel about them, and I think that you want to pursue movement and reassessment. So how does this person feel about you? We've got the 10 of Cups. Look at that. 10 of Cups. We've got the Tower and the 6 of Pentacles. They're waiting for you to ask. They're waiting for you to give reciprocal energy. Now, if you're not the person who is pursuing, this person is waiting for you to give them a signal that it's okay for them to come in and pursue. If you are the pursuer, it feels like this person is waiting for you to ask, to shift the energy, the Tower and the 6 of Pentacles, into the 10 of Cups. They're waiting for you to act either way, for you to look at them a certain way, suggest that, we should do this outside of work, or we should do this outside of our regular friend group, or something like that. And when you do ask, I don't think you're going to be turned down. Expect the answer to be slow, though. I'm just going to say. We've got the Death card here. See, something here is transforming. We've got the Death card, we've got the Strength card, and we've got the 7 of Swords. So I feel like someone here feels as though I'm missing something. It feels like you, Cancer, like I'm missing something. Maybe I'm seeing the situation not really for what it is, but what I want to see it as. And maybe my Emperor energy has really given me sort of a view of what I think is ideal, what I really want, because the Emperor, I feel like if you're the Emperor energy, if you're the masculine energy, whether you're the man or the woman and you're the one doing the pursuing, I feel like you are sort of in this energy of, I'm never going to go in unless I can win. Don't tell me I'm going to be rejected. All these Pentacles tell me if you go slow and you're ready to go slow, that this person is waiting for you to make a move either way. So the Death card is the transformation. We've got the Strength card. So transforming into having the courage to face the 7 of Swords, which is anything could be under there. I could be rejected. I could be sorry that I stepped forward, but no risk, no reward. I'm just going to say. We've got the Ten of Swords, we've got the Four of Cups, and we've got the Magician. So you're like, I should just stay where I am in my comfort zone, because what if this person breaks my heart? What if they betray me and say I'm seeing someone else? I feel like this Magician energy tells me that regardless of what goes on here, you'll be fine. Because if your Ace of Pentacles doesn't work, you just pull the Ace of Swords, or you'll just pull the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Cups. Like, it feels like it's okay. Whatever way, it is already decided. And if this person is not interested, which I highly doubt they aren't, if they aren't interested, then you're just going to pull the next ace and you're just going to keep moving on the next path, because that's you. You recover pretty quickly. We've got the King of Swords energy here. Look, all you need to do is be honest. Be honest and truthful. I'm just doing the thing that I think is best for everyone involved. I'm just going to give you all the details. I'm going to be truthful and honest with you about what I think can transpire here. It feels like you are really up in your head with the Magician and the King of Swords. It feels like that you're trying to get clarity about whether you're enough, or whether you have enough, or whether you're smart enough, or whether you have enough details about the situation. You're hoping that you don't read it wrong. We've got the Four of Wands. Look, Four of Wands is happiness and excitement, stability. We've got the Page of Swords in the reverse. No more, it's now time to stop observing. It's time to take action. And I think that when you do, it's going to work out better than you think with the Star energy here. The Star and the Six of Cups tells me this person really has a bond with you, or feels like I've known you from somewhere before. They feel safe with you. So whatever it is that you're doing, I feel like it works out in the best interest of you. And this could also be business or work, because we've got so many pentacles here. So we've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We got Scorpio. We've got Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. More Gemini and Aries. We've got more Aquarius, Gemini energy. Virgo. We've got Leo, Libra, Scorpio, Aries, and Pisces energy. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, along with Pisces energy. Pisces full moon is coming up on Sunday, so maybe it all goes down then. Tell me about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo, please. What is going on for Leo? Tell me about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. Leo, we have the Star. Let's find out what's going on with the Star for Leo. We've got the Fool. Very interesting. The Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse, though. And then we have the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. So it feels like you have been hermiting, Leo. It also feels like you've been healing. I want to say that there is a new chapter that is in the distance for you. It does feel like you are coming from an old chapter and ready to begin a new one. But it does feel like it is going to take a lot of strength or courage for you to do that. With the Wheel of Fortune being here, I feel like this is the time is not now. And when the Wheel of Fortune shows up for me, the time is not necessarily now as I'm throwing these cards. And I don't think it's within the next 7 days, but I feel like there is a new chapter in the distance. And it feels like it is probably in coming up in October, I'm going to say. That you're going through a bunch of changes and healing and manifestations and that kind of thing coming up in the month of September. But it does feel like in the next 7 days that there is this portal that opens for you. This new chapter of your life is beginning. I feel like you need to find the courage to hold back for now, because the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse while you still complete your stability, your healing, and your manifestations. It feels like you're almost there, I'm going to say. Tell me more about Leo, please. We've got the Ten of Cups. Yeah, see what's coming here. The Moon energy and the King of Wands. What you don't see, Leo, is that there's so much excitement, happiness, emotional fulfillment. It looks like there's a lot of good energy coming your way, but you don't see it right now. Things seem to be not as they are. I'm going to say not as that there are things that are not as they seem. I feel like right now you are healing to be the King of Wands. It feels like you're healing to, the King of Wands is not the Knight. It's not the Page. The King of Wands is somebody who is managing their passions, who wants to still go and, on the hunt, wants to get what they want, because you are Leo, you're the lion, right? You still want to go on the hunt. You still are going to get what you want, but you're going to do it in a metered or managed way, because that's who the King of Wands is. The King of Wands still wants to pursue what they want to pursue, but now they have the wisdom to be inspired and know when the right time is to go, and to not risk the entire kingdom for whatever they want that is their heart's desire. So I feel like you are, what is coming here is like wish fulfillment or excitement or the emotional happiness you've always wanted, but it comes on the heels of your healing. And when this new chapter opens, you'll be ready to go. I feel like you'll be no longer holding back, because the Wheel of Fortune will no longer be in the reverse. Tell me what else is coming up for Leo. I think you're supposed to hold back or be patient right now while things are in the midst of change. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the Six of Wands, and we've got the Four of Swords. So it feels like with the Six of Wands and the High Priestess that you're remaining silent or in this deep intuitive energy. I feel as though, in my mind's eye, someone is sitting in their room on their bed, eyes closed, and visualizing the win. So I feel like right now is a time for you to meditate and visualize yourself winning, getting success and victory. It feels like you're going to get so much attention, kudos, all that stuff, the adoration you love. You're going to have all of that, Leo. But it feels like first there must be some healing. I feel like you're supposed to be by yourself healing mentally right now, getting mental stability. And I think you're doing that through the High Priestess energy, through just spending time with yourself, spending time connecting to whomever you connect to behind the veil. It feels like it is that you are closer than you've ever been to showing everybody the new you. And I think this is sort of what's been coming up in my readings for you, Leo, that you're in this place of healing. But look, you're a Leo, and you're probably, aside from Aquarius, the most stuck energy that there ever could be. And you could have maybe double or triple fixed sign energy in your sun, moon, and rising. And so Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, it feels like somebody here who has been moving really, really super slow. Your intuition is developing to a place that I feel when you do finally step forward out of the Four of Swords into the Six of Wands, that you're going to have no doubts, no fears. You know what you're going to go get. I think that the moon is here for a reason, and that the Ten of Cups and the King are separated by the moon, because right now I feel like is a time for you to be doing shadow work or looking really deeply into the self. The Knight of Pentacles. It feels like you don't really care how long it takes to get there, as long as you get there, and it feels like it's really slow moving energy. I think that this week, in the next 7 days, you're in reassessment mode. And do I even want the attention? Do I even want, it feels like you're still in, you might be with the moon energy, the High Priestess. It feels like you could be at the tip of Dark Night of the Soul, or maybe just coming out of it. It feels like you're trying to figure out your energy, and so you might be feeling frustrated that things feel like they are stalled, but they're not stalled. They're in the Knight of Pentacles energy, which is moving really, really slow. It feels like you are possibly having some type of an ego death with the Six of Wands and the Four of Swords, some type of an ego death, and it's taking a really long time. Tell me what the outcome is for Leo, please. We've got the Three of Wands, we've got the Death card, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So in the future is transformation, and I was kind of feeling that already, that there might be some sort of Dark Night of the Soul energy that you're in, that you are going to be finishing up with quite soon. And the Death energy with the Three of Wands tells me that something has to die within you in order for you to understand that you've been given this beautiful big Ace of Pentacles to put in the ground wherever you want to go. Whatever you touch at this time going forward is going to turn to gold. It feels like you are being prepared as the king with this wisdom, learning to roll in your passions, learning not to take so many risks that you put your whole kingdom at risk. It feels like with the death card, the transformation in the Three of Wands is in the future. There's something really abundant waiting for you here. Really abundant. And it's going to make you very happy. It's a new chapter of your life, and it's not going to be this week, but it doesn't mean it can't be next week. Tell me what else is going on here. We've got the Five of Swords in the reverse. So the Five of Swords in the reverse for me is I am reconciling with the self. I'm reconciling in my mind all of the things that I feel that you've been feeling bad about or didn't accomplish, or maybe that you said something that you shouldn't have said, or it feels like you're in a reconciliation with the self at this time. You do want to reconnect. You don't want to hold grudges. And I think that's the end of your healing. We've got the Page of Wands, and then you're ready to go, because look, you're emerging in the Nine of Pentacles energy. Somebody who has built themselves, somebody who's completely turned it around. You might look different, you might feel different, you might have gained weight, lost weight, this sort of glow up energy, but it's very stable energy, and it's something that you did on your own. So the Page of Wands tells me you're ready for a new path. You're ready to do something new. Page of Wands, Page of Swords. Page of Swords is telling me now, I'm going to view things from a distance, because that's the wisdom of the King of Swords. The King of Swords, the King of Wands. The King of Wands still wants to run after whatever they want. They're going to go get it, because that's Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy. But now I'm going to observe it first. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to observe it, because now I have a lot to lose. Now I've built myself into this, built my reputation, built my business, built my confidence, whatever it is. Now you have more to lose. So now you're going to observe things from a distance before you move forward here, because you're going to want to pick out the people who are telling the truth and the people who are lying. Feels like you want to pick those people out of the crowd before they end up knocking down your pentacles, because I think you've worked really hard on yourself. Really hard on yourself. And I feel it's because of that transformation. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Virgo is there. We've got Pisces energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, more Leo, Pisces and Cancer, more Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got Aries energy, Scorpio, and we've got the star, which is Aquarius energy. Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini under the bottom of the deck in the future. It feels like you're taking charge and you're doing the best thing for everyone involved. So whoever that is, it could be you and your family, you and your children. You're doing the best thing for everyone involved, and I think you're doing it slow, and you don't mind how long it takes for you to get to the healing process, or get through the healing process. All right, birthday babies, how are you, Virgo? Thank you so much for showing up here. I appreciate you. Let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo for the next 7 days. We have the Five of Swords. What's going on with the Five of Swords, Virgo? We've got the Ten of Wands. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Eight of Cups. Virgo, it does feel like you are... I feel like you want to go pursue something, someone, or a situation. It feels like, though, you're going to have to leave something behind in order to do that. The Five of Swords tells me you're fighting the whole process of whatever it is that you've got to drop, release, or leave behind. The Ten of Wands is here, and it feels like you are carrying heavy thoughts. It feels like you are in this heavy emotional energy that you've been carrying around, these intrusive thoughts, or these thoughts of, I did something wrong, or I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that. It feels like there was, that you possibly did say or do something that you regret, but it also is giving the feeling of you knowing that you must detach in order to be able to step into your King of Wands energy. So let me explain. The King of Wands has wisdom. The King of Wands has passion. The King of Wands is somebody who is ruling their own kingdom in a very passionate way. And it feels like you know that you have to step into this fire energy, which is independent energy, which is, you know what, I've been through worse than this. It feels like you've got to drop your this Five of Swords, so you're fighting stepping into the King of Wands energy, because you know you're going to have to detach from people, places, things, or situations in order to be on the throne. The throne is a very lonely place. It's a place where you're making the decisions unilaterally, and you've got to be able to trust your intuition. So I think that what you need to do is drop whatever you have been fighting. It feels like you are intellectually fighting your way to the throne, because you know that's the place where you're going to be tasked with making all the decisions, and you're going to have to detach from the feelings of others. Like, I don't care how you feel about that. I've got to make that decision, and that is both the beautiful and the sad thing about the king, is that the king is, the great thing is you're in charge. The bad thing is you're in charge. Tell me about the Five of Swords. Feels like you're fighting, putting down some sort of burden. You've got to put down the burden in order to be on the throne, though. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands. Very interesting. And we've got the King of Swords. Very, very interesting. There is someone here who I feel is being very honest about the hard work that it takes to bust through this Five of Swords that you carry. This person feels like you could be in a relationship with them right now, because they are someone who mirrors you. So listen, the King and the Queen of Wands aren't always romantic partners, but they are people who mirror each other. So it feels like there is somebody in your life, whoever they are, romantic or platonic, romantic or not, that there is somebody here that mirrors you, mirrors your energy back to you. I feel like the Queen of Wands feels that the King of Wands is somebody who is very harsh with their words, harsh with their ideas. The King of Swords is somebody who is going to make decisions based on their mind, or head over heart. This Queen is trying to tell you, I feel, Virgo, that you are making decisions that affect them that are harsh. Somebody here feels like they put a lot of work into being your friend, being your lover, being your wife, being your husband. It feels like they put a lot of work into it, but what's between you right now is the Five of Swords. It feels like you don't agree with them. You're like, look, I'm the king. I've got to make the decisions, the unilateral decisions, and sometimes those are hard. And this detachment energy was foreseeing the King of Swords showing up here. So I feel like this person is saying, look, you're making the decisions and you're not using your heart energy enough. But you're like, I'm running in swords and fire. I just need to go there and make the decision to go there and get the thing done. I don't have time to sit here and feel my feelings. So I feel like you might be a boss, or running a business, or somebody who is the head of a family, or it feels like you are somebody who has chosen to detach from your emotions in order to get things done. The Seven of Pentacles being here tells me that this person's like, all you do is work. You work, work, work. And I feel like you do. But it feels like you're running some sort of kingdom. So a business, or maybe you're the top manager for a business. Maybe you're the vice president or president for a business. Somebody here in your life is going to be complaining soon that you have lost your ability to feel your emotions. It feels like you've dropped them at the door because there are so many hard decisions that you need to make from the throne. I hope I'm making sense. We've got the World card. Somebody's asking you to stop. Somebody's asking you to bring this to an end. Somebody's saying, I don't want to have to keep telling you that I can't connect to you in swords and fire. I want to connect to you in emotion. But it feels like you are a person who's used to taking care of business, making business calls, talking to people that are very driven, people who are very fiery, and you have to stay in your King of Wands and King of Swords energy in order to get that done. But I think that the Queen of Wands, whoever this person is to you, this Queen of Wands is trying to bring it to your attention that it's causing the Five of Swords between you. It's causing us to stop agreeing on things, that there's fundamental differences here now that I can no longer comply with. So it feels like this person feels like whatever you say goes, and that they don't have a say in anything at this point. Or with the Five of Swords here, you're arguing about what is important. Why is there no more feelings? Why are you just in your fire and swords energy? I don't feel any cups from you anymore. I don't feel emotion. So somebody here is asking you to close that chapter of your life, but it feels like you don't want to. It feels like you, in order for you to function, get along, keep your business, keep your life moving, that you are the person who has to have all the resources, tools. You are the person who has to make all the decisions. You have to create the paths. It feels like you're in the forest and someone says, I need a road to wherever. And you're like, okay, then I'll find the people to make the road. It feels like you have a lot of big decisions on your plate or a lot of tasks here. And this person doesn't understand the pressure that you're under. So the moon energy here is like people in your life don't necessarily see what you're dealing with. So in my mind's eye, I see Charlie showing me the wizard behind the curtain, right? When Toto goes and pulls the curtain and you see this little man, he's just pulling levers and all kinds of stuff. And you make it look easy from the outside because look, the king of Swords is quite stoic and is never going to let anybody see what's going on the outside truly. But I think that what's going on the inside is you've got to make this change because you feel the tension between you and the Queen of Wands. But it also feels like, but I just need to have that little bit of fire. But I don't think that anybody is asking you not to have the fire. I think that the Queen of Wands is asking you to get a little more into your feelings. And I think that the feelings part of it for you is a really deep hole. Because if you allow the feelings to get in the way, it feels like you will fall right in. Tell me what the outcome is. I hope that made sense. Tell me what the outcome is. It is the Five of Pentacles. It is the Four of Pentacles. And it is the World card. Something's got to change here, my friend. I really feel like some change is coming. And it is change that is coming with the Major Arcana, which means that you can't stop the change from showing up. And with the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, it feels like you are detached. It feels like you are not being vulnerable. And it feels like the universe is coming for you. I feel like it's the easiest way for you to deal with all the hardships that you have to decide in a day is to not be emotional about it, because I feel like if you fall into this pit of the moon, that you'll be so enveloped or so taken over by your emotions that you're not able to function. Is what it feels like. So you throw the illusion that everything is fine. And I think that you know that this sort of pattern of behavior needs to end. The universe is saying here that something is changing. Life is going to crack you open in a way that you're not expecting. And you're going to feel exposed because the Four of Pentacles is here. You're going to feel exposed. So if you're waiting for the universe to tell you to start feeling things, it's going to be a little bit horrifying. I'm going to say if you're a person who is shut down, shut off, not sharing, on the outside looking in, look, you could be somebody who has a serious job, like maybe you're a police officer, or maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you're somebody who is not allowed to speak about what you do in your daily work. You know, it feels like it's somebody who is shut off and shut down for protective reasons. I don't think that you're doing it just because you're detached for no reason. I think you're doing it because either you were raised this way, or you might have a job where you must be detached, or live in a work environment where it requires you to be detached. But I feel like you are bringing that home, or you're wearing that armor everywhere that you go. What's the around the corner here? We've got the Emperor. There you go. You're wearing the Emperor energy, but I feel like you don't have the ability to turn it off and on. It feels like you're on, and that's the only switch you have is on, because the Emperor is here. It feels like you take your Emperor armor everywhere, and even to the lovers. And so somebody here is feeling detached from you, feeling like there's a betrayal. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't, I didn't sign up for the Emperor who would be detached. I signed up for somebody who would eventually be able to feel their feelings. And I don't think that you can. I feel like it's the only way for you to keep things stable and secure and running well and the money in order and keeping all the businesses floating, or keeping, whatever you have to keep in terms of the logistics of the mind. The only way that you can keep everything in order is by not feeling the feelings. But I think that the universe is coming at you and is going to cause you to do some healing, which is going to give you some sort of an aha moment about what you've been doing to the home front, or the people who mean the most in your life, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. The people who mean the most in your life are the people who just need you to have some sort of an awakening so you can be a little bit softer, not all the way softer, not a crazy blubbering mess, but somebody who feels their feelings. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got more Gemini, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Aries. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And more air energy, Aquarius. All right. I don't know what that is all about. Maybe you can tell me. All right. Libra. Here we go, friend. Tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look, you had the best reading ever. Did you go take a look at that reading I did yesterday? Oh my gosh, there is so much good energy coming at you, Libra. There is, and I'm excited for you. Let's find out what's going on in the next 7 days. Tell me about Libra. Sneak peek for the week. Next 7 days for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, whatever that placement is for you. Tell me about Libra. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Why is that? Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Nine of Cups. Detached from your happiness. Oh, interesting, because you need to make some sort of really big decision. So the universe is impressing upon you, Libra, that before you can have your wish fulfillment, you've got to make some sort of really big decision to it's like to have an awakening, to pay attention, have an awakening, be reborn. It feels like the decision that you make is going to send you on a completely different trajectory than the one that you're on now. And sort of goes along with the reading I was doing yesterday. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you are in this energy of the Queen of Pentacles after you make this really big decision. It feels like wish fulfillment is here, but it also feels like you feel detached from it. But I think it's because you have not yet made the judgment. You have not yet realized that should you decide to make a decision to go on a different path, do something different than you ever did before, it feels like this Queen of Pentacles energy, it tells me that you get stability. So whatever it is that you are supposed to make the decision about, it's going to bring you to your wish fulfillment. But I feel that you might be overthinking it. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. It seems so easy when we lay it out here, but I don't think it's that easy, because when the Five of Pentacles is involved, it feels like you're having a hard time making a decision about making a decision. Yeah, it feels like you're on the outside looking in, and you do have moments of joy, or you do have moments of happiness. It's like you've built all this happiness within you, or you're waiting to feel all of that happiness. But I think what you don't realize is it's only one decision away. Tell me about Five Pentacles. We've got the Strength card. So you're holding back here. This feels like a comfort zone here. We've got the Seven of Cups. And we've got the Five of Cups. Okay, so it does feel like there is a decision you're trying to make, and the decision does involve what we've got here. You can see she's got the Two Cups in hand, which is a bond or emotional connection, and then she's got Five Cups that she's looking at above her head, saying, am I going to get my heart broken? Am I going to regret this? If I make this decision right now, am I going to regret it? I feel like this is your overthinking energy. We do have the Five Cups here. So I feel like this is real to you. It feels like it's not just a thought process or the illusion of the Five of Cups. I feel like it is a real thing for you. It feels like you're holding back from making a decision here, my friend, because the it feels like the opportunity scares you because it's really big and really bold, and it feels like it's something that you're going to have to pursue. What I mean by that is it's like stepping off the edge. Once you step off the edge, gravity takes over and you don't have a choice as to whether you can crawl back up the side of the mountain or not. It feels like when you make a decision, it's going to be a decision that you can't renege or pull back on. So I feel like you are making a slow decision. Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, there's 6 pentacles here, that you're making a slow decision to give some sort of reciprocal energy to someone, but you're holding back because the Seven of Cups tells me that you are trying to make a decision about whether this is a good decision or not, because you know that right now everything is sort of in place, right? Queen of Pentacles, everything is sort of in place, but it feels like you're scared of the emotional, you're stuck in your emotions. With the King of Cups in the reverse, it feels like you're scared that you're going to be overly emotional or that your emotions are going to take over everything. And because you are a solid thinker, you are somebody who is a static thinker, right? With swords, I feel like you are scared to make this decision. And understand, I don't think you're scared in the terms of fear, but I feel like it's a true anxiety sort of fueled thing for you, that what if I make these big changes and things don't work out for me? We've got the 6 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Swords. See, there it is. Look, there's happiness, victory, and celebration. There's something here that you're being recognized for or getting a lot of. It feels like you're scared to step out into the spotlight, that somebody here is about to give you a lot of their attention or energy, and it's hard for you to receive. So the problem is not that there isn't anyone who wants to give you this energy. The problem is you don't know how to receive it, I think. So this 3 of Swords is here. That you're worried about, okay, well, what if this person gets into this place where they're adoring me? Or it feels like it almost feels like a crowded room. Is what it feels like, that it's going to make me crazy if this person crowds me in the room. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like you're on the verge of giving someone your energy, but I feel like it's going to be very slow moving. I feel like this 6 of Pentacles energy is someone is waiting for you to return the energy that they're giving you, but you're not exactly sure because you don't want to get your heart broken again. It feels like you don't want to be disappointed again. I don't want to get to this place where they give me adoration, they give me excitement, they give me all this attention, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I feel like it's heartbreak energy that's speaking to you. It feels like it's from the past, and it's still kind of got a chokehold on you here, my friend. The 5 of Pentacles feels like I don't know what to do. I want the happiness. I want the balance. I want to have the victory after this hard time in my life. But I'm really worried that when I give too much of myself, that this person is going to suffocate me or smother me. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. So there's your advice. Go slow. So you've already got a foundation with somebody here. You've already built the foundation. You've already started building a friendship. I feel like your advice here is to just go slow. Make sure that you continue to go slow while you're growing. It feels like you're in the midst of growing something. A career, a reputation, maybe confidence. And I feel like instead of chasing for the finish line and getting your heart broken, the Pentacles are telling me, Pentacles is telling me, you just need to go slow, because we've got 6 and 3 is 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we got 1 in the hand of the Queen, which is 10. So it tells me here that there is something that has the potential for longevity, whether it's your career, whatever it is that you're creating. Possibly we've got wands here. It could be a creation we're talking about, or it could be a relationship. It feels like you're scared to share or receive the adoration for whatever it is you've created, or maybe a connection with somebody else. It feels like you're not ready to receive everything that they're ready to give you, because there is someone on standby who's wanting to just adore you, but you have to make the decision to get in this position of the Queen of Pentacles and be really stable in order to feel this happiness. So we talked about 10 Pentacles. 10 Pentacles then shows up. Universe knows that we know that they're listening. And so Look, the 3 of Cups is here with the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. It does feel good. That's the thing, is it feels good. Whatever the situation or the person is, it feels really good to build this foundation slowly. It feels like you see them in social situations or at times where there's lots of drink flowing or people are having fun. It feels like a very social situation, but you're still very apprehensive with the 7 of Swords about the longevity of whatever it is I'm about to enter myself into or about to make a decision about. So I feel like you enjoy somebody's very grounded, stable, beautiful, leveled out, dependable connection with you, this pentacle connection. And it feels like you like to go slow, but it does feel like somebody here is sort of waiting for you to give them the go-ahead so they can adore you, but that's what freaks you out. So they're waiting for you to pursue them, or waiting for you to say, I really like you, or waiting for you to say, okay, I'm ready to share the book, ready to share my song that I wrote. Whatever it is, it feels like the decision is yours and nothing moves until the decision is yours. You're going to be on the outside looking in. Tell me what the outcome is for Libra. We've got the 6 of Cups, we've got the 5 of Wands, and we've got the Ace. We've got the Ace of Cups. So there is hesitation. There's apprehension, hesitation. It feels like you're fighting some really beautiful new cycle that wants to open for you, but you first need to make the decision. Now, I feel like the 5 of Wands is with the 6 of Cups. It feels like you're stuck in these memories of being hurt, or somebody putting you in competition with others. Like maybe you were dating someone and that person started seeing other people or had other people in the DMs. It feels like the apprehension or the indecision that you have, or the internal battle, is that, yes, I do want this. I do want the Ace of Cups. I do want all of that stuff. But with the 5 of Wands in the way and attached to the memories of the past, it feels like that's what you're worried about, that you're just going to have this cycle show up again that is the same cycle that I was in before. I feel like you're scared of getting hurt. So you're putting up blocks. You're putting up blockades, which is the 3 of Swords. You're putting up blockades here. Tell me what is around the corner for Libra. We've got the King of Swords. Yep, you've got boundaries up between you and somebody else here. And you're giving them the swords you. So you're giving them the intellectual, head over heart. Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about, the beautiful color of the sky. Like, we're talking about things that are factual. You're wearing armor here, and if nobody can get in to hurt you, of course, but then nothing can get out either. It feels like you're very much in your King of Swords energy, which is, I just need to keep this grounded. Queen of Pentacles, I just need to keep this in the head over heart energy at this time. We've got the 10 of Swords to avoid the betrayal or the pain or the end of a cycle. And the 6 of Swords is here. So I feel like first, before anything can happen, before a decision can be made, that you really need to move away from this chaotic thought pattern. We've got the King of Swords and we've got the 10 of Swords. Now, the King of Swords isn't necessarily in a chaotic thought pattern, but they are thinking too much in their logical self, and they're not letting any of the emotions in. It feels like the only time that you have emotions that you express is when you're in the energy of being in a social group, or in this place where drink and food is flowing. It feels like that's the only time that you're allowed to, or allow yourself to be social or in your cups energy. So it does feel like until you move away from this chaotic mindset of they're going to hurt me, they're going to hurt me, they're going to hurt me, that's the only way that you're going to be able to make the decision about what to do next. But it's going to come on the heels of you removing yourself from the 10 of Swords and making a decision to take charge of your thought pattern. That's what this is. You're up in your head too much. You're overthinking it, and you must discipline the thought pattern. You must ground the thought pattern. And the Emperor has wisdom, not only the wisdom of the King of Swords, the Emperor has the wisdom of all of the other kings as well, including the King of Cups, who is emotionally available. So I feel like you have to step into your Emperor energy, pull all that crap together, and get your crap together and take charge of the situation before you can make a decision to move forward into the future. It feels like it's going to take a little bit of work, because it feels like you're in this energy of believe it when I see it, but the universe is trying to push you to listen to your intuition, which is water energy. So it feels like the thing that you are facing right now is the hardship of not being able to see your water energy. But the universe is putting you in the Two of Swords in this place to make a decision, because the universe is trying to get you to feel out the situation rather than looking at everything in a logical sense. Why do I feel like I'm reading forever here? Feels like it. All right, we've got Aries energy, we've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Leo, we've got Taurus energy, Virgo, and Capricorn. We've got Piscean energy here. I think I said Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Scorpio energy, Cancer energy, Aquarius energy, and Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. Hoo-wee. All right. Tell me about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio, please. Next 7 days, Scorpio. Sneak peek for this week. Tell me what is going on for Scorpio. Tell me about Scorpio, please. Scorpio, the Fool is here. We've got the Two of Wands. It's almost time for you to execute your plan. We've got the Ten of Cups. And we've got the Nine of Wands. So look, Scorpio, it feels like you're about to execute a plan. It feels like you've been making a plan behind the scenes, and you have been patient about how long you need in order to make the plan. It feels like this Ten of Cups, when you execute the plan, you expect that it's going to be emotionally happy. The emotional happiness of whatever it is that the Ten of Cups means to you. So the apex of happiness, emotional happiness, family. It feels like whatever it is, you are very close to executing a plan, something you've been planning behind the scenes for a while. And when you finally do take a step away from the Two of Wands, the place where you've been stuck, and you take action, that's when the Ten of Cups is going to show up. But it's going to take you taking a leap of faith. Now, I feel like your leap of faith feels exciting, but it does feel apprehensive as well, because the Nine of Wands is here. It feels like you are at this place in your life or in your mind of, I'm done with feeling exhausted. I'm done with feeling burnt out. I'm done with, it feels like you're done. And so in order to be able to not be done or to feel something again with the Ten of Cups, I feel like you're ready for this Fool energy to ensue. This is a new chapter. The Fool is card 0 because it is the first of the major arcana series. The Fool is coming at you 100%. And I feel like your fear is that you will look a fool or that you will fail. And I don't think that that's the case, to be quite honest. I think that's the Nine of Wands talking. I feel like you've been hurt before over and over and over again, been burnt, and you've walked through the fire. You've walked through the hot coals, and I don't think you want to do that again. It's like, this is my last turn, my last chance. This is the last thing I'm going to try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I feel like you've been planning strategically behind the scenes about this new chapter. New chapter could be on the other side of the full moon in Pisces. Pisces is right here, and we do have an eclipse coming up on Sunday the 7th. Tell me more about the Fool. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Five of Cups. And we've got the Three of Swords. So I feel like this Fool energy here is your last shot. It feels like somebody here is taking the last shot. And what I mean by that is, if you're in a relationship, it's like, I'm going to try and repair this. I'm going to try and because the Hierophant could be commitment. I'm going to try and repair this commitment because it's fallen away or fallen by the wayside. We do have the Five of Cups here. I'm going to feel regretful if I don't try and repair the Three of Swords. It might be something you said to someone. It might be something someone said to you. But I feel like there are regretful words or thoughts, things that may have been spoken or not. It feels like there is somebody who is in a commitment, is deciding this is the last shot. I'm going to take a leap off the end. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to take a shot at fixing this, but I'm fully expecting that I'm going to be hurt. It feels that you're a person who has traveled through this world in a lot of pain, and that you've been hurt before. I feel like the Hierophant tells me that you are the stronger of the two people in the relationship, so you feel like it is your responsibility to stand up as the Hierophant and say, I want to try this again. I've got a plan for us to be happy. I don't want to hurt anymore. And if this plan doesn't work, I'm willing to walk away and take a different door. I'm willing to go. So this feels like you're having the talk with somebody, maybe the employer, maybe, this is corporation as well. The Hierophant can be corporation or institution. It's like you're walking in and saying, this is the last time I'm going to say this. I really do want this to work. I want to continue working for you, but something's got to change. I'm not happy. I don't like the way you speak to me. Like, it feels like there is a communication that's coming on here, because the Three of Wands is telling me that in the future, you plan on taking a leap regardless. So whether you leap back into a relationship that's trying to repair itself to the Ten of Cups from the Five, or whether you carry on into the future by taking a leap of faith somewhere else. It feels like you're in contemplation right now. Whether you're the feminine or the masculine, it feels like there is contemplation going on at this time. We've got the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. I feel like you are going to approach this in a very soft, compassionate, loving kind of energy, in a very balanced, a very balanced and careful energy. Because I feel like right now things are balancing just barely. Like, it's like a very delicate balance. Anything could throw this off. And so I feel that's why the approach has to be made in the Queen of Cups energy, whether you're feminine or masculine. I feel like the compassion, the kindness, showing this person a cup. Look, I just want to fix this with us. There are 6 cups here. I feel like we are in some sort of a very deep, emotionally connected. Maybe we've done this in last life. It feels like that. And I don't want to let this go. But if you're not going to bring this juggling back into order with me, then I'm going to have to move along with the Fool. The 6 of Cups just showed up, right? I just said 5 and 6. 5 and 1 is 6, and the universe says, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. I feel like you have a deep connection to someone here. It could be a workplace that you've been at for maybe 15 years. Maybe you've really invested in the commitment of staying there, working there, and growing a business with somebody. You could be a business partner, but this could be a relationship as well, a committed relationship. So I feel like somebody here with the 6 of Cups is saying, I feel like I should be here. I feel like, but based on what has gone on in the past, I'm ready to take a leap off the edge right now, period, regardless of whether that leap is back toward this relationship, work or love, or whether this relationship, or whether I jump just straight into the 10 of Cups, because that's what I need for me. But either way, I feel like you get the 10 of Cups. It's not going to be the easiest leap you've ever made, because the 3 of Swords is here. And there is going to be a regret that the communication didn't work out, or that the commitment has to be broken. But either way, you just need your happiness. And so you need to sort of approach it, or you feel the need. I'm not saying that you need to. You feel the need that you need to approach it and have a conversation about what's going on here, because you're tired of living in this 9 of Wands energy, which is on the edge of burnout, on the edge of, I just want this to be done. I want to drop it all. The outcome, we've got the Page of Coins, we've got the 6 of Wands, and we've got Justice. I think what you're looking for is victory and justice. You're hoping to restore everything back to its natural state. You're hoping to get balance and clarity. It feels like you are going to open the door just a little bit, Scorpio, and give a little bit of energy. And so what I mean by that is you're not going to do the whole wild displays of affection. You're just going to sit down and say, look, I just need to let you know where I'm at in the present moment here, in this Page of Coins energy, that it feels as though I'm not necessarily feeling like I should be giving all of my time, attention, energy, king level energy to this relationship if all I'm going to get is, page energy from you. The Six of Wands is here, and I feel like you really want this person to notice you and say something and give you their attention and tell you, yes, you're right. But what is going to happen? What is around the corner? I think that you want to repair this, but are they willing to? We have the Eight of Cups, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Hanged Man. I feel like it's much of the same, unfortunately. It feels like the Hanged Man tells me that once you have the conversation and you invest in this again, you bring it back to the Ace of Pentacles and say, should we plant this pentacle? Should we invest in this again? It feels like you're met with the Hanged Man energy, a very detached partner, a very detached employer, somebody who's like, I've got to think about that. Let me think about that for a bit. And, it almost feels like you think that you already have your answer. You're offering them the Ace of Pentacles and saying this could be anything we want it to be, but is this person really going to take the offer? So the Hanged Man tells me there's a pause. This person doesn't answer you right away. They're in perspective. They probably go into hermit energy and trying to figure out what to do. Gosh. The Page of Wands is in the reverse. It's like somebody here doesn't give you the answer. So what's the freaking answer? Like maybe silence is the answer. I'm just saying, Scorpio. Maybe silence is the answer. Death is in the reverse. They dance around it. They dance around it. They're just trying to avoid transformation, because Scorpio, I think that you've transformed, and I think that this person knows that the hard work comes in the transformation. They're going to have to change. They're going to have to transform. They're going to have to put more energy into this, and I don't know if they're willing to do it. I feel like you're ready. You've been working so hard that you're on the verge of just dropping all of this at this person's feet and saying, fine, I'll go take care of myself. I'll take care of myself financially. I'll take care of my health. I'll take care of whatever I have to take care of if you're not going to give me reciprocal energy. Because somebody here is holding back. The Five of Wands is here. The Tower is here. It feels like they're holding back. And the Tower is about to fall. Whatever it is that they're avoiding here, I don't know what it is, because this is a short read and I'm not going to get into it, but whatever they're avoiding here, they're going to be hit with the Tower and have to make a decision. So I feel like a decision is coming, whether they want it to come or not, that either their silence brings the Tower or their answer brings the Tower. But either way, you're shifting into the Ten of Cups. You're shifting into this place where I'm okay either way. I don't care what the answer is. I've got Scorpio. We've got Pisces. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Aries energy. We've got Capricorn. We've got Libra, Scorpio. Yep, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Taurus. We've got Libra. We've got Leo, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy with Aries on the bottom of the deck. All right. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sag. Tell me about Sagittarius in the next 7 days. Sneak peek for this week for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Five of Wands in the reverse. Four of Wands is in the reverse as well. We've got the Six of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Five of Cups is here. You know what this says to me? I'm sorry, but I'm out. See ya. I feel like you're leaving something behind here. It feels like for some of you, it could be whatever you've built in the Four of Wands. It could be maybe you're moving houses, moving homes, moving communities. It feels like you're going somewhere where you're wanted. So it feels like you're cutting out a friendship or cutting out a family member, or maybe you're just moving, leaving the environment, leaving the home. Maybe you were living with a roommate, but maybe this is over. Maybe this is done because the Four of Wands is in the reverse. With the Five of Wands being in the reverse, there's no more hesitation. I'm not fighting this situation anymore. There's no more hesitation here. And with the Six of Pentacles, I'm about to go where I am loved and adored and have reciprocal energy. The Wheel of Fortune is here, and I think that the changes are here for you, Sag, because this is your energy, right? This is Jupiter. This is Sagittarius energy, but also Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. And a lot of changes are going on because we have an eclipse coming. So look, expect the unexpected. I feel like you could say, Elsie, you're full of crap. This is not going on. Maybe it's not. Come back and check with me after the frickin' eclipse hits you right between the eyes. Like it feels like that sort of energy. It feels as though, no, I'm not doing that. That's not what's going on here. It feels like you have been thinking though, thinking with this energy of, I'm not really happy where I am. I'm not really happy where I am. I'm growing. They're not growing. And the Three of Swords is here. I don't think that you're happy where you are. I feel like you're in a defensive energy. Either this is, like I said, the Four of Wands in the reverse is telling me there's no more celebration here. There's nothing left to celebrate. I don't like being here anymore. I want to sell this house. There's too many memories here, or I'm going to be moving out. It feels like the Five of Wands in the reverse tells me you've been holding back from doing this, but no longer. You're no longer holding back from doing this. So the Wheel of Fortune is here, and that is change and destiny, my friends. Whatever way you look at it, when the majors show up, you don't have a choice in that, right? It's showing up for you 100%. All you can do is react or respond. How are you going to deal with it? Because it's happening. Change is coming, and I feel what's changing is your friend group, or the people that you have around you. Six of Pentacles is here. Or how you give to people. You're going to start only giving to people who give back to you. Tell me about the Five of Wands, because you're now no longer in indecision. What have you decided? You've decided something here. Tell me about this. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Fool. And we've got the Nine of Wands. You know what it feels like here, Sag? It feels like here with the Six of Cups, it feels like somebody shows up from the past, is what it feels like. Somebody shows up from the past here, and you are ready to take a leap toward that person. I want to say that with the Nine of Wands, that there's a history here. It feels like there's a history here that maybe we've been together and parted and been together and parted. It feels like with the Nine of Wands, you know, the person who is on the Fool, though, is holding a wand as well. It feels like I'm just going to go for it. It feels like if this person is not from the past, it feels like somebody comes back around. And what I mean by that is it's not somebody you've dated, but somebody maybe you had consideration of or attraction to. And it feels like it is like we had to go through a whole life cycle in order for us each to grow our own ways. And now we're coming back together again. It feels like someone is coming back round. If this is someone from the past that you've dated before, fine. But it feels like the Six of Cups is almost like we have memories together. We have good memories together. We have memories of taking leaps of faith, or taking, taking risks together. This could be in business. This could be in friendship. This could be in your life in general. But it feels like somebody here is now no longer in indecision about wanting to take the leap of faith. I feel like it's you, Sag, but it feels like you are taking a leap away from the Nine of Wands and into the Six of Cups. Either way, no matter if this person is someone that you've dated before or not, the Wheel of Fortune is here, which means that it is change. Everything is changing because this is a destined time for things to expand for you. The King of Cups was on the bottom of the deck, and now it comes back. It feels like somebody here is showing up in their King of Cups energy. It is the Emperor energy. And then we have the Page of Cups. Look, oh boy, look at this. The Tower's here. Something is shifting big for you. When the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower are here, this is a destined shift, and it feels like it is an emotional destined shift. It feels like there's somebody here who you haven't spoken with in a while, and I don't think, for those of you who know who I'm speaking about, but somebody who you haven't dated before, there's no dating history here. I feel like memories, good memories, healthy, fun memories, because the Fool is here. Excitable, sort of, I get excited when I think about the things that we did back there. It feels like this person gives you a good feeling, But for those of you who have never dated this person before, but you know who I'm speaking of, this person shows up as an emperor. Now, this person has grown. They're showing up as somebody that you've never seen before. So maybe you saw this person a long while back, but it feels like maybe 6 months ago even. You knew them a long while back, but it feels like this person has changed a lot, showing up with the emperor energy. Somebody who possibly wasn't ready to take the leap back then 6 months ago is now showing up in your life with the King of Cups energy, which is, I kind of want to explore what is beneath this connection. The Page of Cups being here tells me it surprises you. Look, the Tower is here with the Page of Cups. There's some sort of a shift coming, Sag, that you're not expecting, and it feels like this comes out of nowhere. When the Page of Cups shows up at the Tower, for me, it shows up out of nowhere. Somebody is attracted to you. Somebody wants your adoration. Somebody wants to adore you. And so if this is somebody that you know that you have dated before and do have a history with, this person, even though they have hurt you before, and you may still be in the Nine of Wands about that, you still may be the wounded warrior, this person now has no apprehension. They're now like, I understand that I wasn't emotionally available for you last time I saw you, but I'm emotionally available now, and I'm ready to take control of my emotions, of my intuition. I now have realized that through the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, this shift into destiny, that you are the one that I have always had this underlying sort of butterflies in the belly when I thought about you. This person here has never forgotten you. They could be an Aries. Like I said, all of the signs that here, we've got Aries a couple times. In the outcome, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I can't even write that. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Magician. So somebody here wants movement. They want passionate movement, in fact. Somebody here is facing their fears in the future here, facing their fears and becoming courageous, because that's who the Emperor is. But understand, the Emperor doesn't make a move unless they know they're going to win. So I feel like the outcome says to me, Seven of Pentacles, that I don't want to wait anymore. I've waited long enough. I don't want to wait anymore. I want to build some sort of solid foundation with you. Queen of Pentacles, I want to take care of you. I want to make sure you have all the things that you need. And I know that this seems like an illusion, but I really do want the movement into this passionate energy. So for some of you, it could be both people. It could be somebody who I feel that you have really good feelings about. Oh, I remember the memories that we created with that person back there when we used to work together, or we used to play together or have fun together in a group of people. For some of you, one of these people is somebody who has never hurt you, who hasn't turned you into the wounded warrior, someone you have really good, happy, exciting feelings about. And then there's the other person, the one who you have the history with, who did hurt you, who wasn't ready to take a leap because they weren't the Emperor, they weren't emotionally available. And so I feel like for some of you, it could be two different people. One might be a Scorpio, one might be an Aries, but you know, the Emperor carries all the wisdom of all the kings. Could be just about anybody. Scorpio is here as well. Tell me what the outcome is here. Oh boy, not the outcome, but what's around the corner. I went, oh boy, because I just saw this flip. There is some sort of a breakthrough here. This is going to be an exciting next 7 days. If it's you, please tell me who it is. Somebody has had some sort of an enlightenment. They've had a breakthrough in the intuitive energy, that they now are, you know, their intuition is lit up. They now know what they want, and what they want is a long-term connection with you. They want longevity. So whether that ends up being a long-term friendship again, we get back in touch, or a long-term loveship, it feels like somebody here is willing to put in the hard work that they need to in order to create the Ten of Pentacles with you. Someone's taken their shot at the Ten of Cups. That's what it is. It could be a Leo, a Capricorn, possibly a Pisces, but it is going to happen probably over the Pisces full moon. It feels like it's going to, that there is going to be something that you're going to be very happy or excited about. Somebody is about to show themselves, and it's somebody that you've been connected to before. There we go, the Lovers. It's somebody that you've been disconnected from. So you can tell me who that is. Let's find out the energies that we have here, which is Aquarius, Scorpio, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Leo again, Aries. More Scorpio energy. We've got Libra and Aries here. And Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Pisces on the bottom of the deck. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Let's go to Capricorn. Tell me about Cappies. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Capricorn, how are you? Hope you're well. Next 7 days, Capricorn. Sneak peek for this week. Tell me about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn the next 7 days. We've got the 10 of Swords. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. This is where the juggling ends, my friend. It feels like it's financial juggling. It feels like you've been juggling financially for a while, or a lot of things, wearing a lot of hats, doing a lot of things, carrying everything. We've got the Hermit energy in the reverse. It's time for you to come out of hiding here. And we've got the Chariot, because things are about to come into balance. I love that. So look, you're about to gain some sort of a victory this week, Capricorn, because it looks like whatever you have created the discipline in, and it might be financial for some of you, it feels like it could be in the mind as well. It feels like you're releasing some sort of thought pattern that you've been juggling in the mind for a while for some of you, that's been hurting you, that feels hurtful. I feel like you're releasing that because the Chariot is here. You're done with overthinking things, and it might be because you're coming out of Hermit energy here, that you have made, you know, some assessments about the self and realized that maybe there's things that you needed to let go of. This Virgo energy here. We do have the 10 of Swords and with the 2 of Pentacles. So I'm going to go with, maybe some of you have been juggling something financially. We have the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and it feels like something changes quite by surprise. You change your mind, or you finally release something, or you come to this, you start to see the fruits of your labor, which means you've been saving money, you've been disciplining yourself with the financial things, and it feels like after a while of having to not go anywhere, do anything, not treat yourself to anything, not clothes, not food, not anything, you might be able to do that now, because there's something here that you are definitely releasing that had been hurting you, that you had been juggling. Tell me what this is. We've got the 10 of Cups, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, and we've got the 5 of Wands. For some of you, what you're releasing might be a friendship. It could be that, but look, Pisces, Pisces full moon is coming up, right? So it could be that you're releasing a friendship or a partnership that you were becoming unsure about, that somebody wasn't giving you or stopped giving you the time, effort, and energy. 5 Pentacles are here. Somebody stopped giving you the time, effort, energy, and love that you've expected or that you've gotten from them over time, maybe over the last 10 months, last 3 years, last 5 years. It feels like this 5 of Wands energy tells me that now you have to fight for their attention. Now you have to fight for their friendship. So it feels like somebody here is cutting loose a friendship, or somebody they thought was a friend, or somebody who maybe has been a friend for a long time but has gotten very complacent in the connection. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. It feels like you have found yourself a new community or a new friendship group. And I feel like they're very loving and kind. And I feel like this is a place where you do not feel that you are in competition with anybody. So I feel like this definitely is a release. No more juggling, no more feeling like you're on the outside looking in, finally getting your balance, finally getting your stability and moving forward. Very interesting. When I call out cards like that, when I add things together on the table, it's because I feel the energy coming. So the 3 and the 2 of Pentacles is 5, and the 5 of Pentacles shows up next to the 10 of Swords, and these two are connected to the 10 of Swords, right? And so the 5 of Pentacles is here, and it feels like what you're releasing is feeling on the outside looking in. So it does feel like there is some sort of relationship. I don't know if it's platonic or romantic, take it as it resonates for you, but it feels like you're gaining your stability by finally releasing the 5 of Pentacles. You've decided to discipline the mind. I'm not going to think about this anymore. They are the ones that made the decision by leaving me on the outside looking in. This was not my decision. The Hierophant is here. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this is a really slow decision. Like, the thing is Capricorn, you're an earth energy just like me. I'm a Taurus, you're a Capricorn. And we don't take decision making lightly, right? You thought about this for a really long time. I feel like the Hierophant energy helped you realize that traditionally you would be the person who would pursue. You'd always send the first text. You'd always ask them to go out. They may turn you down. You ask them to go for dinner. They may turn you down. And I feel like now you found a group of people, a community, a network of people who are very much like, don't even have to finish your sentence. I'm going to be there. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Don't tell me where or when, just like text me the address. I'll be there. I don't care what's going on there. I don't care what you're doing. I just want to be in your presence. It feels like that sort of energy. So the Hierophant energy tells me that by you building your own structure and by you deciding to stay on your own path and reassess, that you now are no longer on the outside looking in, that this Five of Pentacles was actually a mindset for you. And when you changed your mind, you changed your environment. The Five of Swords is here. So it was, I think that what you're releasing here and replacing with the Hierophant energy is the Five of Swords, the intrusive thoughts. Maybe they don't want me around. Maybe they didn't text me because they don't really like me. Like, I feel like you're just letting go of all of that. Through the reassessment, you found your stable, grounded self, which is, I'm just going to stay on my own path. And if they want to follow, they can follow. And if they don't follow, then that's not a me problem. That's a them problem. No more juggling, friend. I feel like you're now in a community of people who really love you, who really are interested in being your friend, and are just going to give you the yes even before you finish the before you even finish the sentence. They're going to be like, yes. Tell me about the outcome, please. We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I love it. Ah, this is beautiful. Good. We've got the Seven of Swords. I'm just releasing it all. Yep, that's what you're doing here. You're releasing this obsessive thinking over and over and over again, holding yourself back, being attached to, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Should I invite myself? They're not inviting me. It feels like it's quite by magic. Okay, maybe not magic, but it's quite by like a shocking revelation. It feels like with the Eight of Swords in the reverse, the Page of Cups is surprising or shocking, and you didn't think it would ever happen, but you finally wake up one morning and you're like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like, I'm not even going to be on the outside looking in. I'm way too valuable. I know my value, and I'm a really good friend, and I'm going to find a group of people who are really good friends to me. So the Seven of Swords here tells me that that somebody felt like they were getting away with something, but I think that you've like reverse psychology. I think you're like, no, you're not leaving me on the outside looking in anymore. I feel like you're letting them get away with whatever they think they're getting away with, and you're just releasing them into their own energy here. What's around the corner, please, for Capricorn? We've got the Page of Pentacles. I love this. Look at this. Page of Pentacles tells me you get your balance. Now I know that when I offer my emotions in a trusted bond, I'm going to get that love back. And I really love that, because the Page of Pentacles is here, and you're now sort of creaking open the door and offering a little bit. But look, the Two of Cups is here. So whether this is romantic or platonic, it feels like whatever you give out in terms of your loving, kind, devotional energy, you're getting that back. I feel like the Strength card tells me you found the courage to do it. Aw, I love this. Look, you have found a soul family. That's really lovely. And they are all invested in you. They are invested in you. They love to see you build yourself, take care of yourself, really work on yourself, because I think that you're in a community of people that are like this. Justice energy could be, it feels like stability and balance and restorative energy, restoring love, restoring bonded connections. It feels like the courage to stick your nose out the door and say, is it safe to come out? I feel is really paying off, is what it feels like here, Capricorn. I feel like the next 7 days is when you come to this realization that I'm not going through that anymore. I'm never going to do that, because now I know my value. So we have Libra, we have Taurus, Leo, we have Cancer, we have Pisces energy, we have Virgo, Aquarius energy, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. We've got Scorpio energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. All right. Tell me about Aquarius. Aquarius, I really loved your reading. Did you see it yesterday? I really liked that reading for you. Tell me about Aquarius for the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. What do I need to know about Aquarius? We've got the Knight of Cups, Aquarius. What's going on here? We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Queen of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Aquarius, it feels like you're about to reveal your feelings to someone here. And those feelings could be about money, could maybe a feeling like, hey, you're just leaving me on the outside looking in. Like it feels like you're disconnected from someone. It feels like this has become a bit of a comfort zone, or you feel rejected. You feel rejected emotionally. It could be romantically. But the Queen of Swords is here, and it feels like with the Queen of Swords pointing the sword up at the Knight of Cups, it feels like you are going to be honest and truthful with someone about how you feel about being left on the outside looking in. Now, we could be talking about romantic things because, of course, the Knight of Cups is here. But the Knight of Cups is also passive energy, but heart space energy. This could be a platonic or a romantic relationship, but it feels like you're about to say to someone, hey, like, how come we're not talking anymore? Like, how come you don't text me anymore? How come we don't see each other anymore? I'm feeling like I need to speak to you about that because I don't know where this connection is anymore. So it feels like you feel rejected. The Four of Cups and the Queen of Swords, you feel rejected, and so you've decided, instead of sitting around wondering and feeling like you're on the outside looking in or feeling detached, I feel as though the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups tells me, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to be honest with somebody and say, hey, am I still on the inside of your group? Like, am I still a person who is in your life? Do you still consider me, someone who you feel in the heart space? Do you still consider me someone that you're attracted to? It feels like you're going to stand up and liberate yourself verbally and say, I need to talk about this emotional thing with you. Do you want to talk about it? Because instead of feeling like you're on the outside looking in or feeling rejected or dejected, I feel like it's really a good and healthy thing to talk about. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Cups. We have the Devil energy on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this has been going on for a long time. It does feel like there is a connection to somebody that has been, I feel like you've tried to let it go, but I feel like the connection or the attachment you have with this person is actually spiritual. So it's spiritual, it's emotional. This is Piscean energy. We are also coming closely on Sunday. We are going to have a full moon in Pisces, but it's also an eclipse. It feels like eclipse energy. It's time for us to have the conversation about why there's been silence here. Why has there been silence, but we're still connected, but I kind of feel connected and I don't really know how to speak to you about that. I feel like with this Three of Pentacles, we could be talking about a partnership or a platonic relationship. It feels like for some of you, this Knight could indicate that there is romantic feelings here, but it also, for some of you, it isn't romantic. It's heart space energy for a friend. Three of Pentacles is like we've already built a foundation here. It feels though with the Three of Pentacles and the One here, with the Queen, it feels like we're shut off and shut down. We're not really talking to each other, but we are achieving separately. 9 Pentacles, right? We've got 5 and 4 is 9. We're achieving in our lives separately, but maybe work or maybe building our businesses or maybe whatever we're doing is what's keeping us apart. It feels like whoever we are talking about, Aquarius, they could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, but it feels like they could be somebody who just makes you feel really grounded. Like they are somebody who, no matter what you talk to them about, they're always going to be on your side. They're always going to mirror your energy. They're going to be kind and loving and doting. And, they're the kind of person that no matter, if they haven't seen you for 100 years, they're going to show up, they're going to cook you food, they're going to take care of you. Like it feels like that sort of energy. Now, this Queen of Pentacles could be somebody who is connected to your heart space. For some of you romantically, for some of you platonically, take it as it works for you. But we've got 2 cups here, right? So it's telling me that there is a bonded sort of connection here. And it is a heart space connection. So it could be romantic for some of you. For others of you, it feels like it could be it's a soul connection or a last life connection, because we got 4, 5, 6 cups. It feels like I feel so connected to you in a very silent way. I can't let go of you energetically. And it feels like for some of you that you do have romantic feelings for this person. It could be that maybe you've not dated them, that it's been like a silent romantic undertone. You've not dated them, but it feels like there is a foundation that could quickly bloom into the Ace of Cups, because the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups is here. So it does not feel like there is dating vibes here, that you've ever dated this person before, but it feels like somebody you want to connect with and say, hey, are we friends? Or is this feeling I'm feeling, like, are you feeling that feeling too? Tell me more. The High Priestess is back. We've got the Page of Swords, and we've got the Six of Swords. So it does feel like you're, like in the silence, you're observing them. So you might be watching them somewhere online, possibly. If they have an online presence, it feels like you're watching or observing from a distance, possibly from overseas. Maybe there's somebody in a boat. Maybe you had to take a boat to get to wherever you are. It feels like you are observing them from a distance, but you're at this point wondering if you should just move on, or if, like, it does feel with the Six of Swords that maybe watching them or observing them from a distance, and there's such silence between you that it almost is making you a little bit chaotic in the mind. It feels like you want to say something, you want to move forward, you want to go from this place of chaos in the mind to the calmer waters, but you keep observing them. And it feels like possibly somebody here might be moving on without you, because the Queen of Pentacles is taking care of themselves, taking care of their health, taking care of their business. They're very solid and grounded and stable. They're creating a life. They're creating, whatever you give to the Queen of Pentacles, they're going to multiply. So they might be multiplying money or abundance, or this person is like, carrying on without you, essentially. We do have the King of Pentacles, but there we go. This is the reason why we can't let go, because we are mirroring each other. So I feel like you're watching the Queen grow, but you are also growing, but you are growing parallel to each other, but possibly like across the world, across the pond, because the Six of Cups is here. There's distance, whether this is distance mentally, emotionally, or physically. It could be all of it. But it feels like with the King of Pentacles energy, it's like you and the Queen are living the same lives, but separate. And I think that you watch them living their life, growing. You are the King of Pentacles. I feel like you are doing the same thing that the Queen is doing, except for you, maybe you're a person who uses your material wealth to buy properties and to run businesses. And it's not that the Queen can't be doing that, but I feel like this person is glowing and growing and multiplying while you are conquering and coming into wisdom about financial things. It feels like you are trying to decide whether you want to continue watching this person from a distance, or whether you want to close the distance, I'm going to say. The outcome is we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Magician, and we have the Two of Pentacles. So look, you have all the skills, you have all the resources, you have everything that you need in order to be able to drop your burdens and stop juggling, to make a decision real time. This is up to you. The Queen has their back to the Three of Pentacles, which is the relationship you have with them, which is friends. I feel that have a solid foundation of friendship, or that you've met this person, friend of a friend, or in a community. It feels like you have a solid connection with this person, but the decision is yours. So if you are the masculine leaning energy, this Queen has got their back to the friendship because you're not putting any energy into it, or because you are doing your own thing. So the Queen is doing their own thing. The Queen is going to mirror your energy. So whatever you're doing, they're doing, if you understand what I'm saying. It feels like you need to make a decision. What is it that you want? Do you want to just drop this with the Ten of Wands? Is it becoming too heavy? Do you just want to drop it? Or do you want to use your Magician energy to make a decision in the 3D about where this should go next? Because I feel like the Queen, the feminine energy, is always going to wait on the masculine in order to balance it. What is around the corner for Aquarius? We've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse, the Three of Cups. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it, is what you're going to do. That's what it is. The Nine of Swords being in the reverse is like, I got to stop worrying about this. I got to stop thinking about it, worrying about it. I want the reunion. I want the happiness. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask this person what's going on. Look, I feel like you're dealing with an Empress, and that's why this person is not contacting you. So when you're dealing with an Empress, the Empress is always going to attract. The Empress is going to wait. The Empress is going to hold boundaries, is going to take care of life and people and family and business. And this person is going to live their life, and they're going to love on themselves so they are ready for when the right person shows up. So if you are somebody who's saying, well, that person, that Empress isn't reaching out to me either, it's because the Empress is not going to reach out. If you want the Empress, you got to go get it. And if you don't go get it, then you don't want it that bad. I'm just saying. We got the Queen of Swords. What do you want to say? We've got the Fool, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got the Death. It feels like you have changed. What you've changed or transformed is these really super heavy boundaries. I feel like you're about to open up with the Fool. You're about to take a leap of faith and say something that you may have never said before. And you're about to be honest with somebody here. The Death card is telling me that what's ending are these super high boundaries and the fact that you felt like you always had to protect yourself. I feel like you're ready to take a leap of faith. You're going to say to this person, look, I just want to see you. Can we have some sort of reunion? Can I take you for dinner? Can we go out together? I just want to see you. And I feel like it starts out with you realizing that you had such tough boundaries with this person that they just backed right off and thought, well, if the king wants me, the king can come get me. So we have the Two of Wands. It feels like you are making plans under the surface to possibly have some sort of exciting, fun reunion with this person, or that you're making plans behind the scenes to get some stability because you're ending a chapter in your life. And so I think that's why you're thinking about this now. There is a major chapter or a major shift in your life of silence, of not asking for what you want. And I feel it's because of growth, some sort of emotional growth that you've had in your life with the King and the Nine of Pentacles. All right. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. We've got Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, Pisces, Libra, and Taurus, Scorpio. We've got Cancer energy here, Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and more water energy. So Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. All right, last but not least, my Piscean lovelies, my two fishes friends, my water family. Look, we have this full moon coming up, right? And I say we because I'm also a Pisces moon. So buckle in, friends, because there is an eclipse in the full moon in Pisces on the 7th, and that is going to change a lot of things for you. Change without notice. You might be relieving yourself of things that didn't serve you, and now you're like, that's enough. It's the moment of alchemy. That's it. This is where I make the decision. This is where I alchemize the water and the fire, and the water and the fire, and the balance. And with this, I've been doing this back and forth and back and forth. This is the moment of alchemy, the moment where you can see that she has the sun at the forehead here, where I have this big realization that I am the one who is in charge here. And I'm going to start alchemizing to make things comfortable for me instead of comfortable for everybody else, which is Sagittarian energy. We've got the Five of Cups. It's not going to be easy, my friend. This is going to be a very emotional full moon for you. The Nine of Wands is here, and the Six of Wands is here as well with the Nine of Cups. But look, you're about to get into an energy in the next 7 days of purging emotional things. Things that I feel that you will have, it almost feels like the tears are going to heal. So my blubbery face friends, just cry. I'm just going to say, just cry. Now, I'm a Pisces moon. Maybe I'm the only blubber face, but just cry. Just purge it. Just let it go. I feel like what you're purging is the Nine of Wands because you're preparing for the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is coming from a hard place, coming from the fight, coming from the war. And I feel like you became the wounded warrior, Pisces, because you are the person who was in the fight all the time, is what it feels like. You were in the fight. And so it feels like with the Nine of Wands energy that you are releasing through tears, through emotion, by creating alchemy, you are just finally releasing it and bringing it all to a moment of stable balance and healing. And so you are now moving forward into the light, under the spotlight. Six of Wands is Leo energy, which is the sun. You are moving under the spotlight. People are cheering you on because you made your way through. And you're about to head off into a very exciting, victorious and successful time in your life. But it's going to take this purge and you coming to this moment of alchemy where you've decided you're just going to bring things to an even pace. You're going to get solid healing. Three of Pentacles. So for some of you, you could be letting go of friendships. I feel like maybe for some of you have healed your way right out of some friendships. And so this could be some of the purging that you're looking back in the past, because this can be regrets, looking back in the past and wishing that things could have been different, but they aren't. It feels like you're now building new foundations, new friendships. The Three of Pentacles is here. And you're doing it through healing. The Five of Pentacles is here. I really feel like with these two fives, something here is about to change for you quickly, but not before you go through this emotional purge. It might be a purge of tears. It feels like it is all for the purpose of healing, so you can continue on with this foundation that you're building with other people, other communities, other networks of people, friends, maybe new friends. We've got the Justice card. We've got the Two of Cups. And the Lovers. Look, I feel like you're making room is what you're doing. Look at all that energy. You're making room. It feels like you are at the end of some sort of dark night of the soul, or you're at the end of some sort of deep healing that you've been going through. And although the future is undecided, I feel like this tells me that what is coming back into balance for you, or what's being restored, is the beautiful bonds that you love to create with people. You love to create connections with people emotionally. For some of you, it feels like there is possibly love showing up in the future. It feels like with the Two of Cups and the Lovers, this does tell me about soulmate bonds. So people that you bond to immediately and emotionally because you feel like you've known them before. It feels like you are coming to a place of balance or restoration, or your karmic energies are about to be cleared. It feels like someone's coming to the end of their karmic cycle, and that love is about to show up. Could be romantic love for some of you, could be platonic, because this is a choice, and this is a choice to bond to people. So it could be friendships that you really love, that you are really emotionally invested in, but it feels like for some of you it could be romantic. We have the Star because of your healing, my friend. You've decided, I've healed. I've got to work on me, and I feel like that's exactly what you did. The Star is here saying things are now, I can now pour into others because I have poured into me first. There is a moon behind her here. There is a moon behind them here. It feels like with this full moon that you are finally releasing the emotions or the things that you no longer need, and you are moving into a healing, loving energy where you are choosing people who give you emotional energy to give back to them in order to create this balance. Tell me, what is the outcome, please, for Pisces? We have the Five of Swords. We have the Hanged Man energy. And we have the Knight of Cups. Pisces, it really does feel like if you are somebody who is already talking to someone, like some of you may not have anyone on the radar, and I'm probably not talking about you when it comes to the emotional part of this that is romantic, but I feel like if there is somebody who's been holding back their feelings from you, I feel like over the full moon energies, so, usually 3 or 4 days before, 3 or 4 days after the 7th, that in that time frame, in the next 7 days, that you're about to have some sort of a breakthrough. It feels like someone's been in a pause as it pertains to their emotions. And it feels like they've been fighting themselves while they're in Hanged Man energy, trying to get a perspective of, is Pisces the safe place to put my head, right? To lay my head. And so it feels like the Knight of Cups energy with the Hanged Man tells me a person who's been holding back and fighting themselves is possibly someone who is going to release this energy of being in the Hermit energy and being silent with you. It feels like they are going to stop fighting themselves. They're going to come to this place where I feel that they are going to express their energy, their emotional energy, or they might say something to you like, I love to be in your energy. You're kind, you're soft, you make me feel comforted like a big blanket. Like they might say things like that. What's around the corner for Pisces, please? We've got the Two of Swords. There is a decision coming down around the full moon. The Ace of Swords, you will get communication from somebody who I feel had been breadcrumbing you previous to this. Somebody who had been holding back is finally making a decision to move forward and go on a different path in their life. It is going to change your life and it is going to change theirs. Somebody here has made a decision to grow, made a decision to put in the hard work, and made a decision to make a big and bold move toward you. This person could be an Aries, a Sagittarius, a Leo, a Gemini, possibly a Cancer. We've got Pisces, Virgo, Scorpio. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Got Aquarius energy here. We've got Virgo and Pisces. Yeah, it feels like there is a big decision being made here. Something is about to change for you that you're not expecting, my friend. And I think that somebody is going to finally stop holding back their emotional energy. For those of you who that could be romantic energy, for some of you it could be a friendship bonded energy where somebody you felt had you on the outside looking in with this Five of Pentacles, and it's going to flip over into this friendly bonded energy where you begin again, this block is being removed and you get to enjoy each other again. But it feels like it's a relationship where we need to talk about this because my heart's breaking because you've been breadcrumbing me or not giving me much of your time. I feel like somebody's about to make a bold move after deciding that, Three Wands, in the future, this is what I want. I want to put the work into making big changes so we can be together in a relationship. Somebody here who is very blocked off and wasn't giving you much energy has been sort of feeling confused about how much energy they want to give you, but I feel like that becomes clear because the Wheel of Fortune is here. Could be someone who's Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius. It feels like this is going to happen possibly at a social gathering. Someone here has been the King of Cups with you, not really showing you any emotion on the surface. I think that's about to change in some sort of social setting. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you, Pisces, for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. If you made it up to here, thanks for that. I'm going to go for now. I'll be back, though, because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.